Okay, now I'll be doing two example solves with D2 for corners and M2 for edges. I'm not going into too much detail about the M2 because this is not a tutorial on M2. Okay, so the first scramble is going to be really easy, just no cycle breaks, no misoriented pieces, and also no parity. So let's get into it. There. Okay, so for edges, we're going to start here. So our letters are going to be T, E, V, F, G, J, A. Then this is not I but S, because our M layer is going to be offset by an M2. Then we have a R, then an M, and this is our buffer. Now we've had 10 targets, so from the fact that this one is with M, so the orientation of this one's correct, we already know that there's going to be, that the one piece that's left is going to be solved. And indeed it is. So for corners, next, we're going to have D, then not W but U, because the D layer is going to be offset. Then P, R, M, then not L but T, because again the D layer is going to be offset. Now there's one piece left and it's solved. Okay, now let's go to execution. For edges it's going to be T, then E, then V, then F, then G, then J, and then we have an A, and directly after that an S. Now I know that the algorithm for S starts with an M2, and the algorithm for A is simply M2, so we can cancel those and do this there, and that solves both. Now we have H and M, and our edges are solved. Now for corners. Our first one was D. Now D is U face, so it's rather tricky, and there's various ways of doing it. I would recommend just doing whichever one you like. I like doing it like this. Then D2, and undo the setup. Then we had a U, so that's going to be a special target, so there. Then we have P, which is, then we have an R, which is easy. Then we have an M, which is also easy. And finally we have a T, which is a special target again. And that solves our cube. Okay, now I'll be doing the second example solve. Okay, first for edges, it's C, V, X, E, J, and then not W, but C, because it's at the second place on the letter pair. Then Q, B, and this solves our buffer. And we've had 8 targets so far, so there's 3 pieces we haven't had yet. And we see that it's these 3. So this one is flipped, so we're going to have to deal with that. First we're going to do these 2. Now you can start wherever you like. I would just do L, N, F. And then for this one, it's at a pretty nasty location. So in this case I would typically, especially during a multi-blind, I would just do 2 targets. So R, H. So that's our edges. Feel free to make a memo for it, but we're moving on to corners. It's going to be A, then not L, but T, because it's at the second place on the letter pair. Then W, then N, and that solves our buffer. So we have 3 pieces left, because we have 4 targets. We see that it's these 3. Now our rule here is you want to avoid top layer targets, And the target you want to get most is obviously V, because it's just one move, it's just D2. So in here, this corner hasn't been touched yet, so and it's not solved. So we'll just start with V, then we get M, and then we get P. Now for this corner, again you can do this corner using algorithm, but you can also just do it as two targets, which is I, F. And here you do not want to do F, D, because then you're going to get a top layer target. But the I, F, it's going to be a lot easier. Okay, now for the execution. First it's C, then V, then X, then E, then J, then C, then A, then B, then L, N, then F, then R, and then H. And now we've solved our edges, so now what we want to do is another C, because we have parity. Okay, now for the corners, first we're going to do A, then we're going to do T, which is an algorithm. Now we're going to do W, which is again a special target, so we're going to need an algorithm. Then it's N, which is a simple insert. Then V, and that's simply D2. Then it's M. Then P. And now we're going to have I. And then F. Now as you can see, this corner twisting, it may seem awkward, and with a method like alt-Pacman it is, but here it actually has a really low move count, so that's the reason why I actually prefer it over doing it separately, because this way you have a far lower chance of making any mistakes with it. At least when you have one twisted corner. If you have 2 or 3 twisted corners, then I would typically do them separately. And now, okay, we've had all our corners, so now all that's left now is an end firm. And that solves our cube. Thanks for watching.